My name is Gavin Johnson, and last year I was in a project with Gavin Wilson and Noah Wesser. We worked on what we called the exoarm. We started on September 13th, 2019, and due to the coronavirus, we ended on March 13th, 2020. The exoarm is supposed to help people with partial paralysis and temporary paralysis in their lower arms. It will help them exercise the arms by moving them up and down in intervals. This will also get the blood flowing and will help them moving after the temporary paralysis wears off. The exoarm is completely 3D printed except for the few electrons attached. So we can mold the 3D printed exoarm to the patient's arm to make a one-size-fits-all. Another reason we 3D printed it was because of the cost. The cost of physical therapy and prosthetics is only rising, so we have provided our clients with an inexpensive alternative. On October 11, 2019, we went to Makerspace at UCA to talk to Max about our 3D printing design. He told us to cut the design into fourths, then glue the pieces together. However, when we tried to glue the pieces together, they didn't stay that way, so our solution was to weld the pieces using filament as a solder. This worked and it made them stay. Our community partner was Mr. Griffin, the sports therapist at our school, and when we met with him, he advised us to have an option for slower speeds when moving the arm. Because if someone is feeling pain at one level of speed, then they should have the option to slow it down for little to no pain. We took this advice to work immediately and planned on how we should slow the movement down without even having to move the other arm. So we would place the buttons on the collarbone so the patient could change the speeds with their chin. At the end of our project, before we left school for COVID, we finished attaching the motor to the exoarm to make it move up and down with ease. We also finished molding a larger exoarm the size of a teenager's arm. This year, I was an online student, so I couldn't do all the same things as I could if I was at school. So instead of doing a large project, I worked in Khan Academy. In Khan Academy, I worked on JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, which are coding languages. JavaScript is more about interactive programming. It makes things animate and move about the page. You can also make things appear or disappear just by moving or clicking a button. JavaScript can also be used to build or draw something, because you can use loops to make patterns so you don't have to keep drawing the same thing over and over again. HTML and CSS are about the words on the page. You can use those languages to edit and make web pages and websites. HTML is about making the words in paragraphs and headers, while CSS is about editing those words. CSS can make the words change colors, size, fonts, and other aspects.